Alright, welcome back to my Sorare journey. This is the pinnacle of football. The World Cup is about to start. The Global Cup on Sorare is about to start and I couldn't be more excited. The last episode we spoke, I was trying to develop a international specials rare team, which also linked with Champion Europe because, the next two events are obviously the World Cup, as I just spoke about, and I am almost certain, I'm extremely confident the Premier League is coming to Sorare. What that does is increase the quality of the Champion Europe pool, so you want Champion Europe players, really. That's kind of how I see it. We'll see if I'm right or wrong when it comes out, if it comes out, but that's how I'm positioning my gallery. Shout out to the guy in one of you that commented below saying, I've seen you make about 10 plans and changed them all. It's how we go, If you see an opportunity, you've got to pivot, change. I've spoke about it before, but this is the current strategy. International special with Champion Europe utility post the World Cup. Including that, obviously, we have the Global Cup. I'm really excited for my team. Go and check out the video of me revealing my team. Explain to everyone I've picked why I've picked them, and I think it's really good. I hope you've joined my private league already. Simply Alex versus the Dan. Sorare have given me some tickets to reveal. Sorare has given me some tickets to give away. It's a cool way of giving them away. I explained that in the last video as well. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. But you probably know what I'm talking about. Besides that, I've joined 18 leagues already. I mean, look at some of these names. You've got Gerard Piqué with his own league. We've got Simply Alex with his own league. We've got Rio Ferdinand with his own league. Nepenthes, John Nellis, Fiago, Watto. I mean, just so many leagues. I'm so excited for all of them. I hope I win absolutely every one. I claim every single prize, but yeah, likelihood of that, we'll see. No one knows. In terms of my teams for, regular Sorare where you buy the players, they're not given to you for free. I am excited. And here's why. I mean, just look at it. Such strong players that can also have Champion Europe utility afterwards. It's kind of exactly what I needed. Don't get me wrong, I did have to sacrifice quite a lot making this team. I'll explain the trade deals a little bit later, but for now, let's talk about the players. So, Unai Simon, right, we spoke about him a little bit in the last episode, but a monster goalkeeper. I've got his backup in case anything goes wrong. Absolutely buzzing with him. Rodrigo de Paul. Rodrigo de Paul was like a light switch going off in my head. I was just like, hold up. This guy could just kill the whole of the World Cup. He could be like that underrated player that no one's thinking about. And then when I think about it more and I'm like, look at his scores at Verona, not at Atletico Madrid. Look at his scores at Argentina, again, not at Atletico Madrid. I think it's very negative football, which doesn't suit his style of play. He could seriously go off. So I thought, this is an opportunity. I've got him in my Global Cup team, spoiler alert. I was like, I need him in my international special team. And this really came to light when I was looking at Play Sharper's projected scores. And of course, these are just projections. Don't read into these too far. But Lionel Messi's up there, Neymar's up there, everyone else is up there. Right next to Kevin De Bruyne, firstly we have Sule. Didn't expect that, but, great, fantastic. And then Rodrigo de Paul coming in with an average of 67 against Saudi Arabia. And it genuinely is like a light bulb. You're just like, he could do it. He could be on par with a Kevin De Bruyne, but you're paying 1/10 of the price or 1/5 of the price for him. So let's hope he lives up to the expectations of myself and Play Sharper and the whole of Argentina. But yeah, I'm excited for that. We'll talk about Sule whilst he's on screen. They have him as a 90% expected score, expected chance of starting, that is. I'm not so sure it's 90. I think that's a bit high. But from what I've been seeing, I've eased my nerves with him a little bit. It looks like he will be maintaining that first team spot. Griezmann, I mean, it's just monstrous, right? I spoke about it in the last video. I've been so excited just to use him because I think it's such a great pickup. I think I got a great bargain for him. And then the main man, who would be El Capitano, Karim Benzema, the Ballon d'Or winner. So yes, I sacrificed a lot to get him, but why did I get him? Ballon d'Or winner, plays for Real Madrid, leads the line for France, links up with Messi, links up with Mbappe, links up with Griezmann. Their group, Tunisia, Australia, should absolutely demolish them. It was just absolutely perfect. Some would say too perfect to be true. And that's why, if you know your football, Benzema is a big doubt for the first game. Looks like he might not even play it. So I probably need to apologise because in the last episode, I said Benzema was faking his injury. I do apologise, Benzema. I realise the injury is a real injury now. It's a little muscle problem you've got. Please get over it. Please. But at the same time, at the end of this episode, I'm going to be discussing who I could bring in as a backup or as an alternative. We've only got 1 day left now to, see if he's going to be fit. So it's going to be a flip of the coin anyway. So it's whether I play it safe or risky, because, the risky option is you go with Benzema and he doesn't play. But if he does play, his scores will be so good. So I'm not sure what to do about him, to be honest. I've got a little bit of beef because I sold Di Maria. In the last episode, I was talking to Pavel, trying to get the Di Maria deal done. Got it done. He popped off in the last friendly Argentina had before the game. I think it was against UAE. And yeah, it was just... I had doubts. Not in his ability at the World Cup. It's post the World Cup. I don't think he's playing for Juventus. So I was like, we've got the ball. The team looks good. Let's get Samif, and if anything goes wrong, we can replace him. And something did go wrong. Benzema was looking like he's 100% going to be starting. Now he's looking like 100% not going to be starting, to be honest. But who knows? The last tweet I saw was quite positive, but I'm done. I'm so tired of these international problems. But yeah, I secretly love it. So in terms of the other teams then, you've probably seen them. Seaman? Oh, good God. You've probably seen them before. I've had them planned for a little while. We've had Lionel Messi, Tchouaméni, Kimmich, Marquinhos, Alisson. I'm actually slightly less confident in these now. I've just seen other teams. And in the limited division, people are going to rock in there with Messi, Neymar, Kimmich, and pretty much this team, but slightly better, right? Which is absolutely fine. It just lowers your expectations, as it should. Rather than aiming for first, maybe you aim for slightly lower. Then we lead into the under-23 team, and yeah, again, it's good, but it's not great. I think Koundé's already injured, so I'm going to need to negotiate something to do with that. Eric Garcia is a doubt. And yeah, I actually saw someone say Vinicius Jr. isn't going to start the first game for Brazil, which would be absolutely mind-blowing. So I hope that doesn't happen. But we have got a little secret weapons, let's call them, that could actually improve this team. I'm not sure if any of them do. What am I talking about? If you don't know about this, it's probably too late by the time this video comes out. But included in my private league, which is open for everyone and sponsored by Sorare, I'm doing a secret private league, which is obviously not entirely secret anymore, but I'm giving away all the prizes myself as a thank you to the people that watch the videos, that comment on the videos, that join the Discord, essentially the people that make this channel possible. And yeah, it's just great to see. It's really made me happy just, getting views and people liking my content and all the rest of it. So I wanted to give a little bit back. Obviously the plan was to do it at Christmas, but yeah, by the time the World Cup's over, it will be Christmas. So what can you win? How do you win it? If you don't know, probably too late, as I said, but what can you win? Coming in for first place, if you finish top of my league, and I did actually do a vote on this, the guys wanted it to be, first to get to the best place, not random up or anything like that. You get this. So, it comes from eBay. It says Shirts for Heroes. I'll explain that all later. But inside, authenticated, everything else, we will see a Richarlison 7 signed top. So I'm not sure if you can see that too clearly, but yeah, Tricky Ricky, the main man himself, has signed it. What happened was during lockdown, eBay did these Shirts for Heroes trying to raise money. It was essentially like a raffle ticket for different types of signed shirts. I was like, I've got a bit of spare money in lockdown, of course. So signed into all these raffles. It's going to a good cause. And if I win signed shirts, right? And it was from each player you put money towards. So I'll put, £2 towards Tierney, and that'll be my one ticket. I'll put £2 towards... I essentially, if you went for like a Bruno Fernandes or a De Bruyne, you're competing against like hundreds of thousands of people. So I went for the more niche names. I went with Yerry Mina because I don't actually support England. I support my roots, I support Scotland. And of course, you can't support the English then. So therefore, I had to support Yerry Mina and Colombia when they played them in the World Cup. Yerry Mina scored a great goal. I thought probably not too many people want a Yerry Mina signed shirt, so I'll go for that. I got the Yerry Mina signed shirt. And he was out of the country. I think there was some bust up with Everton at the time or something like that. He was unable to sign it. And they're like, well, we can get anyone else in the Everton team to sign it. And I was like, Tricky Ricky, please. Absolutely Richarlison. Like, I think he's a monster player. I know his attitude isn't good, but I like that fun side. I like people to have a personality. I like them to be a bit tenacious, a bit of a knobhead. I love that. So yeah, I ended up getting his signed shirt. I love it. So why is it doing in a box still? My whole room is green, not this one, but, I'm a massive Celtic fan, so having a blue shirt in amongst all the Celtic stuff, it really doesn't make sense. So, I can't really put it up anywhere else in the house. I thought it was a perfect thing to give away. It's like, it can mean so much more to someone else, so that's fine. In the Discord, someone actually brought up with the fact, well, I'm a Liverpool fan, what if I win that? So they're going to win second prize, and second prize is, Richarlison has no cards on Sorare, so I thought, what's the closest to Richarlison? Tricky Rafinha. It doesn't work. Rafinha, essentially from Brazil and Barcelona. I think he's a great player. Obviously, ex-Leeds, he popped off there. Barcelona, he's a little bit more rotational, which he struggles with. But I thought of someone in the World Cup that could have an absolute monster run. Obviously, I wanted them to link to Brazil. I was like, Rafinha makes perfect sense. He's a good prize. And then who do I have coming in for third place? Can you guess? I've mentioned him quite a lot. Rodrigo de Paul. Of course, we've gone for what Laird calls a vertical stack. We've got the rare, we've got the limited, and we'll be giving the limited away. I just thought, if you're so high on this guy, give him away. If he has the world's best World Cup as you expect him to do, well, I expect him to have a good World Cup, right? Or a great World Cup. If he has that, it'll be even better by the time I get to give it to someone else. And then coming down, I thought, what's a good value Champion Europe player? If I'm expecting Champion Europe to do well, but, we're competing on a little budget here. We've not got infinite money. I thought, who's going to be good? I thought Carvajal's quite nice. Should play for Spain. Got his position at Real Madrid. He's about, £20. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then beyond that, I wanted to add a couple more prizes and stretch the budget a little bit. Got to bring in the Celtic lads that are going to the World Cup. So, Daiser Maeda, he is probably not going to play for Japan too much, but I thought, he's a fantastic wee player. He can do a little bit for Celtic, and it will, at least help one of you guys, and thank you for supporting the channel. And then finally, the 7th prize, 7, my lucky number, Josip Juranovic. Could be the last time we've ever seen him in a Celtic shirt. That's what I think, at least. I think post the World Cup, he's going to be leaving Celtic, and yeah, I don't actually have one in my gallery, so a little bit annoyed to give this one away. Maybe I'll buy 2, but yeah. Let me know what you think of those rewards. I think it was quite nice, There's a good little selection there. Most of them are so rare cards. I wanted to do something maybe a bit more creative, like get someone a Patreon membership. But then I was like, if I offer someone the Patreon membership and they're like, oh, I'd rather just have the money, mate. It's just going to be awkward, isn't it? So I thought, no one's going to complain with so rare cards. We're all playing so rare. We're watching so rare. It makes a lot more sense. So that's where we're at with that. I hope you entered the competition. If you did, you would have been in the Discord. If you haven't, you can still enter the Discord. I've got someone to run it, and I'm going to be in there. We're going to try and make it a little hub of so rare people. I know how hard it can be on so rare to kind of share the passion, because obviously it's quite niche at the moment. And the problem is, talking to people about, should I make this trade? Should I go out and buy this player? That's the best part of it. But, I was lucky enough, I made YouTube videos and people connected with me. But you at home, you might not have that same opportunity. So that's kind of what I want it to be. I want it to grow into this Discord of like, okay, well, I have this opinion on this. What do you think of this? Just somewhere that's fun to hang out with. So I hope that works out. So check out the Discord, even if you can't join the secret private league. In terms of the trades we done then, it was very difficult to get rid of some of these players. So Rodrigo de Paul, I didn't really care what price I paid for him. So I wanted him so bad, but I didn't have the funds to, pay in ETH. And I didn't have the time to sell these players. So Callum McGregor, rare. Yeah, I had to let Callum go. I mean, it's just, I needed players that play now, and Callum's not there yet. He's still injured. He is captain of Celtic, and I look forward to him coming back, but not for so rare terms. Brooks Lennon just pumped up the value a little bit. I think he's got a good chance of being a good scorer this season, especially what we saw at the end of last season, but no MLS buff, so don't take that as a tip. Jesper Karlsson, why is he so cheap? Please, someone explain to me why he's so cheap. I think he's losing his under 23s, but still far too undervalued for me. I traded him away just because I've got enough forwards in the under 23. I've got Jota, Wirt, and Vinny Jr. So, of people that I can let go, it's him. I was negotiating with, don't know how you'd say it here, but Schweizerfair? That's not even close to your name. I apologise for that. But, he was a really hard bargain driver, but he was also being nice and open at the same time, where he's accepting, cards which he doesn't want or need kind of thing to try and get this deal over the line. So he was like, I'll take Carter Vickers, whatever deal I suggested is add Carter Vickers as well and we can make it a deal or something like that. And we managed to close the deal. And what a nice guy he was, because he was saying things like, oh, I don't want this, or this is worth more because it's got more XP, and stuff that I was kind of arguing back, of course, a good negotiator should really. And at the end of the deal, he was like, yeah, had a great time negotiating with you. I know you knew your stuff, and it showed, kind of thing. And that really made it better for me, because what I realised after he said that was that a lot of these things he was saying were not lies, but going off the truth a little bit, like, oh, I'm valuing an ETH now because ETH is better than, fiat for this terms. And then I explained to him that, well, ETH's down 25%, and he didn't even put up a fight. He was like, yeah, fair point. And like another point about XP. So it was great to have that little like deal, especially because we could get it closed. And yeah, fair enough to him. Hope I can do a deal with him in the future because that was fun. How did I fund Karim Benzema? The Ballon d'Or winner was funded with who would be the League Two Ballon d'Or winner, Jonathan Vieira. So tough to see him go. I picked him up for a great price. He's gone so high up in value. He's won us rewards. So why did I let him go? Again, it's utility on this game. I needed utility of players that could play now. I had developed my gallery into a Champion Europe rare facing position. He didn't fit the mould, so I took a big hit on it. It probably looks a lot worse than it is on screen. So, valuation that day of 2,500 versus 2,601, that probably is a little bit fairer. But then you add on top the fact I added ETH. It probably seems a bit wild, but I needed Benzema. Vieira was wasted. I didn't have time to sell him. And the only time we'll know who got the better deal is when the next Jonathan Vieira goes on auction. Because my thinking is that I've already seen him come down in value a lot on just one auction. And I'm thinking, if I can't get him sold by the time the World Cup started, he could half again, just because so many eyes will be off La Liga 2 players now. Even though they do have a lot of games, it's just cycles, This game's constant cycles, and it's hype for the World Cup, and if you can't afford World Cup players, you go into Liga 2 players, and once that's done, there's something else on the cards. It'll probably be MLS cards coming back or something like that. So yeah, had to let him go. It was tough. Yeah, I'm happy with my decision. I wish him well, but maybe not many more hundreds, please. It would hurt. I mentioned I got this deal done with Pavel, definitely overpaid, but, look who I'm transferring away here. A lot of these players are just limited cards, which I have no utility for, and then a super rare, which is illiquid as hell. I'm never going to be able to sell that. So, yeah, happy to get the deal done, even if it does seem over the top. I then sold Di Maria. How much did I sell him for? That would be interesting to see. And where's he actually at? So, someone for 476, 505 sold, and 527 sold. So maybe I could have been a little more patient with that, but, nobody's perfect. So once again, we're at a turning point on Sorare. We have a potential hole in Benzema in the first fixture, and it's how do you fill that hole? Let's say I have about £400 that I'm willing to spend on a player, because that's, essentially the Di Maria funds minus a little bit. So Carvajal, already mentioned him, he's in the giveaway, and I'm like, yeah, this is a great pickup, £150, someone in that region. He's probably leading the race for who I want to sign, but he just doesn't give me that, something. Doesn't give me that joy. It's just expected minimal scores, expected just medium scores. It doesn't do it for me, I want a little bit more excitement. So Jordi Alba gives me that more excitement. Guy has just been injured for Spain, so that means he's going to miss the World Cup, unfortunately for him. But for Alba holders and for people that want him to do well, he's probably locked in his position now. You can get him for £300 and he should pop off. He's a wing back that's attacks. He gets great AA. He is a great Sorare budget scorer. But when he goes back to Brazil, when he goes back to Barcelona, will he still be there doing it? I don't think he will. I think he'll probably be on the bench for that. I think it's Alex Balde that takes his place. If he doesn't take his place, then you've got Alonso that can play there. And then we've got, so many midfielders, centre-backs that can drop into either wing-back position. I just don't like the competition at Barca. So, yeah, this is one of these trade-offs. Do I just go for a really good team now, hope I win a reward? Who knows? The same goes to the next man, Rudiger. So I could stack him with Sule. If a centre-back gets a good score, they're probably going to link up together quite well and both get good scores, making tackles, blocks, all the rest of it. But, I don't know how, but he doesn't start for Real Madrid. I appreciate they've got good centre-backs, right? But he must be one of the best centre-backs in world football right now, and he's sitting on the bench for most of the weeks at Real Madrid. I think he flicks on and off between playing and not playing. If you imagine he's injured here, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. It is painful, but yeah, he gives me that buzz. He gives me that, if he nails that spot, I've got a best bargain ever. He gives me that, he's going to make crunching tackles, fun to watch, all the rest of it. I think Germany could have a run. But yeah, not sure. The other man, who I've just thought of now actually, is obviously who's replacing Benzema. So it's clear who's replacing Benzema if he doesn't play. It is Olivier Giroud. He has skyrocketed in price since I checked him last. So maybe the news is out that Benzema isn't starting and Giroud is. Or people have just got carried away in FOMO reading after I did the same stuff that I did. But yeah, he is a good option because if Benzema's not playing, I play Giroud, you know what I mean. But what about if we're not sure who's going to play? Like now, you know, who do I play then? Even worse headache. So it's probably not him, and he skyrocketed. Let me know what you think. I can't close this deal. I don't know who to buy. By the time you're watching this, I would have made a decision, and you'll probably know if I made the right one. So yeah, comment below if I made the right decision or not, or comment below what you would do if we're not at the decision time by now. Besides that, thank you so much for all the views and, you know, everyone liking the content recently. It's been absolutely massive. There's still a large majority of you that watch and don't subscribe, so please click that subscribe button if you're still here. I've kept you for about 20 minutes, so you must be liking it at least a little bit to subscribe. And all the best. And finally, all the best to you. Cheers. I don't know why Giroud went up so far in price.
Tears running constantly. Oh, somebody kill me, please. Somebody kill me, please. On my knees. Pretty, please.
Benzema, he's injured. He's out for the whole World Cup.